Okay, so I kind of forgot where we left off a little bit, but this day has gone on for a while. Like, we started off, we found the body at the carousel, right, with our boss. Then they're introducing like a million different female partners that we could potentially have, like the 18-year-old Iris, I think is her Iris, who we have some like flashback memory of. So maybe I was gonna say she could be like our daughter, but the ages don't really match up because we'd have to be like 12 when we had her. So I don't know what that relation is. But we have some personal connection to Iris, we have some personal connection to Mizuki, we have a personal connection to the victim. It's like, dude, this isn't a case about something that we're doing for a job. This is like a case about us, which is pretty typical, you know, a good way to introduce it, but it does seem a bit contrived, a bit too much. So basically the whole idea is that we started out, it's kind of good to do a little like pre-trial review in the car scene. I do kind of like them for that purpose. Every one of these games has like a moment like that, like in Kathy Rain, where you're standing out in the woods or like in the graveyard, you're just kind of reflecting on what's happening, and it has that kind of nice ambient music to it. So that scene of her crying was her just pretending to cry. It wasn't actually anything that happened. But maybe it almost seems like Hitomi and her were dancing around something that they know us, but you would think they would mention it. So Hitomi, her mother, can't move her arm, and for some reason we have Aiba out of her eye here. I don't know why you do that while driving, of all things, where she can kind of just jump out at will. That's how our character's gonna die. Aiba's gonna sabotage us somehow. It's gonna turn into like the HAL 9000 effect from Space Odyssey, like where she fucking turns on us at some point. Or some event like that will happen during the story, like where somebody will hack it and make it. But then we could just take it out, I guess. It's not like that's the ultimate weakness, just rip it out of your own eye socket. So yeah, I don't know what these scenes are here for except for that exact purpose. Just to kind of enjoy the ambiance and to kind of do a little review on what you know. So you start off at the carousel, you find Mizuki, she's still at the hospital. The ex-husband, Renju or whatever, Renji or Renju, is like a prime suspect figure here. Right, so we still haven't talked to him. And nobody could account for his whereabouts like on the on the day of the crime. It's like one of those automatic driving cars. I don't even have to do anything. I just sit here. Hey, Take Notes, how's it going? Pretty good. So if I look here, this is what confused me at the beginning. You actually have to go inside of yourself, like here. I kept moving this. I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to interact with? But you can actually go inside of the box. So yeah, what happened after that? We find Mizuki, then we go to the restaurant. Well, first of all, we talked to our boss for a very long time. So she was saying it was like a copycat crime possibility, but then it turned out that she didn't want to tell us any further. So she's almost like baiting us to look into that ourselves, or it could relate to our own injury, what cost us our memory. The idea that she doesn't want to have us hold her responsible. Then after we went from the office to the... What did we do next? We went to the little diner with the mother of Oda. Then we found Oda at the office. Then we met Iris. Then we went on a drive with Iris to the scene of the crime. She tried to blackmail us a little bit with that video she took where she's crying and acting like we had an affair or something. I don't know why that would work against us any better than it would work against her. Then we went back to the scene of the crime. We didn't really learn anything from going back to the scene of the crime. Then we dropped her home. Now the home was the same place we saw in our dream or our vision or whatever before, like where the Hitomi was passed out on the floor. So maybe that's what's going to happen next. She'll be like the next victim. And I think we saw Renju in the next room, but it could have been somebody else, some man who looked like the killer or whatever. And then... So yeah, we basically just drop her there. We have some memory associated with that place, but we don't know what it is. There's so many of these scenes where we're not really learning anything about the case. We're kind of just dicking around with young girls at that. Just had somebody play you in chess, mess up his opening, then think I'm cheating because he messed up horribly. Yeah, now everybody's going to be accusing everybody of cheating. Magnus set a bad precedent, right? I mean, online is kind of a crapshoot with everything, though. It would be so easy to cheat in so many different things, technically. So yeah, we drop off Iris. We have a little nostalgia moment, deja vu moment. And then Hitomi, she can't move her arm. She didn't seem to know us, but you would think there's something going on there. And then that's basically it. We're just on the, I don't even know what we're doing next. Like, what were we on the way to doing? I hate this flavor text where it just says what it says on the outside. Like, it'll say passenger seat, then it'll say passenger seat. Like, at least give me something more. Like, it's empty. He's all alone. I don't even know where Aiba is right now. Charging. Aiba is fitted into the center wheel. Oh, maybe, oh, she can be like your GPS. That's kind of cool. That's like her battery. Let's hear the timeline of events about Shoko's corpse, about the bloodstain. Oh, this is kind of a cool way to do it. I didn't even notice her there. That is pretty awesome. All right, dashboard. What the fuck? But then again, it does run the danger of not being able to see while you drive. The dash.
Dashboard.
There's some weird running joke where they keep mispronouncing words or something. I don't know what it is. Myself. It actually makes sense that you'd be able to see yourself like that based on where she is right now, because she's looking at you from the steering wheel. The center console. Yeah, see, flavor text like that is stupid. The rear view mirror.
A crazy grandma with a knife is running straight for us.
I hope she'd be fast enough to keep up with the car, even if that was true. You can see the scenery through the rear view mirror. Why is he trying to be all funny with the fucking AI anyway? Like, he accuses the AI of being annoying, but he's the one who's being all childish and stupid half the time. Okay, so we can talk to Aiba through here, which is maybe something I would normally have missed, but maybe you have to do that to advance the scene anyway. Play a game. Allow me to introduce myself. Focus, you've got this. Is it going to be like the game from Heavy Rain, where you keep throwing the ball against the brick wall in the while you're waiting for your boss? Norman Jaden moment.
Want to play a game? Sure, let's play I Spy. I spy something round. My eyeball. Correct. I win.
I will terminate you.
But she's the same one who had the riddle about take the giraffe out of the fridge and stuff, so she's not exactly a comedic genius herself.
Don't push yourself, Date. No, I'm fine, Date.
You do not appear to be fine.
You've barely done anything so far anyway.
Hi, my name is Kaname Date. Nice to meet you.
I like how contrived this is, that he's looking through his eye, the artificial eye, to see himself when he has the rear view mirror right there. He could just do it that way. I guess that might be more dangerous though. You'd rather pluck out your own eyeball to look at it this way than to just turn the rear view mirror a little bit.
What? Date? I have the same name. What a coincidence.
I've never heard that name before either.
Perhaps he's had too much medication.
They keep mentioning that he's on some kind of medication, but I don't know what it is. How many, it gives you so many different lines of dialogue. Like, you might think, oh, I'm just clicking the same thing, but it turns gray when you don't have anything else. I can see myself through Aiba. Yeah, we realize that by now. Let's hear about the timeline of events, about Shoko's corpse, about the bloodstains. Maybe we've just hit like kind of a dead end, so this is one of those reflective moments where we're kind of, we gotta come to some eureka moment. Is there any time where you felt like somebody cheated against you that was like, it's so hard to prove though online. That's the annoying thing about it. You know, like you could say that. Like I got 99 accuracy in a chess.com game. And so if I post that to YouTube, people will be like, oh, you must be cheating. But then you also realize I've played like 1,000+ games and I'm still at 1,600. So obviously I don't do that. I'm the type of person who not only doesn't do that, I go the opposite extreme. I try to make things harder for myself to make it more interesting. Aiba is charging right now. She doesn't have a built-in generator. It means I have to charge her sometimes. Oh, that could come into play in the story. Like it'll be a moment where you'll be desperate for, I don't know, like the Memento moment where, oh, you can't remember things, you have to write them down, and then he doesn't have a pen, so he gets screwed. Something simple like that. You won't have access to a charging station when you need her most, so you'll have to go commando without her. It's like a possible dramatic scene later. Let's hear the timeline of events, about Shoko's corpse, about the bloodstains.
Aiba, can you give me a timeline of the events of the crime?
I just hate a few times it's let me advance the scene like without actually doing anything. Like I'll miss some of the flavor of dialogue. So maybe I shouldn't have asked that first. I should ask the least consequential thing to the most consequential thing, just so I can hear everything.
At once.
Friday yesterday, approximately.
I wonder who sent that Nile message to Mizuki.
Nile message. Friday yesterday, 5 p.m. Yeah, see, this is the same day. It's been Saturday the whole fucking time. It's kind of hard to believe. Approximately 5 p.m. Shoko's time of death, approximately unknown. Mizuki receives a denial message. Oh, to tell her to go to the scene. So you would think it'd be the same person who killed her mother that would have sent her there. Unknown sender requests to come to Bloom Park, that she just accepts for some reason. Approximately 8:10, Mizuki calls Oda. So why is that? Ask her to accompany her because she's worried. Now Date's gonna feel a little bit miffed himself, like, oh, why didn't she tell me or ask me? Or like, what kind of a guardian is Date that he doesn't know that she went missing? Like, what? Or because they live together, he's like her guardian, but he calls her roommate for some reason. Approximately 9 p.m. Mizuki and Oda discover the corpse. Oda leaves Mizuki, flees the crime scene. So Mizuki stays there the whole time inside the little center console just because she's so traumatized. She is only 12 years old. At 9:05, Oda reports the crime via the payphone. So it wasn't Renju who did it, like we theorized, that maybe that's why he wanted to remain anonymous. At 9, so he could pass it off like, I'm not just a pussy and I didn't just abandon a 12-year-old girl at the scene of the crime, because he's like 20 something and he's friends with all these younger chicks, like the 18-year-old Iris, whatever. But he could say like, oh, I was just reporting the crime and then I got caught up with something. I didn't just abandon you. So she was there the next morning though when we came. Approximately 9:30. So shouldn't you have been worried where she was anyway? Never mind the fact that you found her at a crime scene. Like, maybe she wanders off like that sometimes and you just let it happen. Approximately 9:30, first responders arrive on the scene, discover Shoko's corpse. At 10:50, Date arrives at the scene. Oh no, we didn't come in the morning, we came late at night. So she was only there for like an hour or something.
Culprit themselves.
But Mizuki wouldn't obey the instructions of a complete stranger.
Then Mizuki knew the sender.
That's what I'm thinking.
Must be Renju then, but then why wouldn't she just tell you? Or maybe she has some kind of like temporary memory loss. How convenient. The second time that they're using the memory loss trope so far.
Or the suspect used her friend's phone.
Use her friend's phone.
Aiba, can you hack into the phone and find out who sent the Nile message?
Oh, it wasn't a voice message, it was like a text
Nile's
message.
security protocols are intricate. It will take time to decipher.
I don't know what Nile even stands for anymore. About Shoko's corpse, about the bloodstains.
The estimated time of death is yesterday, Friday.
This is a pretty
around
cool
5
mechanic
p.m.
though. Being able to draw up these things at any time, and this is like your evidence log, but you can't really see it at will. You have to see it only by prompting, right? There should be something that you can look at any time. Oh, I guess you kind of can. As I say that, you can go to like menu, file. There's a lot of useless shit in here though. Like there's stuff that just tells you flavor, or, well, I like flavor, but you know what I mean. Like just a lot of random unnecessary bullshit. So we still don't have Iris in here, or we do. Aiba, Iris. It's interesting how he chooses to order them, because it's almost implied that he's writing this stuff down. Internet idol musician. Hitomi, I'm not sure how that's gonna, plays the video game involving shooting down alien invaders. Very broad. She's into like martial arts. Renju we still haven't met, so he would have to be the culprit. That's usually how these games go. Like Phoenix Wright, you don't meet the culprit until like the last day, or obviously in this case there only is one day to begin with. Yeah, I like this format so much because it's like, not only is this my first playthrough permadeath thing, but like, look at how much time we're spending on one game like this, but there's like 100+ games part of the format. So like, you get lost in the format. It's not about getting to the end of it. Like the Steam Gauntlet or the, like Dark Souls went on for months by itself. Like, it's so fucking incredible how much you can get out of this. Something to do with the Illuminati that Iris is talking about. She has like a little penchant for ancient Egypt. She knows about like all the gods and some of the mythology. Maybe that's where Eye of Providence came up. No, this is from Christian theology. But it chooses to focus on such mundane stuff like a trunk. Yeah, like we don't know what a trunk is. You wear them when you go swimming. Another word for the torso of the human body. I guess that is at least more relevant. It's the trunk in the back of your car. What is Nile? A social networking service that allows you to exchange instant messages via smartphones and PC. My dream is to one day make stamps for this application. I don't know what that means. Stamps. Shovel Forge Minecraft ripoff. A Set You Bet, a game of call response where you say something that rhymes with her name. X-ray mode, not the kind that you would want though. Imagine if it was true X-ray, I would have gotten banned right there. A loser geek. Yeah, some of these are so stupid. Puncture wound, a kind of stab wound. Like, that's really necessary to put that in there. And then album. This is our first date. Date A, ha ha ha. Fucking stupid name. And then, yeah, we use Evolver. So that's kind of the core mechanic where we could potentially see a failure state during those kind of dream sequences. So now we'll have to go inside of Mizuki's dream or somebody like that. I'm just surprised they haven't let us do that in a while. Like, we did it at very much the beginning of the game, after we went to bed after going to the crime scene, right, before we talked to our boss in the morning. But since then, we've seen the boss, we've seen the mother of Oda, we've seen Iris, we went to drop Iris off, we met Hitomi, we did all that stuff without seeing another dream sequence. So that's a kind of weird thing that I don't get, how they stalled it out that long. Like, this even shocked me because, like, the first scene here was short. We just went to the carousel, saw the body, found Mizuki. Then this one was short too. You went to the, you know, you learned the whole dream mechanic with Aiba, where she drinks wine and starts to complain about how abusive you are towards her, kind of jokingly. And then, but this one contains so much content. This includes everything since then. So again, talking to the boss, talking to the diner chick mother, then talking to Oda, talking to Iris, going to the crime scene again. Then from the crime scene going to, like, this should have sub-chapters in it or something. Going from the crime scene back to her house, and now we're back in the car. Like, there's a lot of shit in that Saturday chapter. Almost seems like too much. Estimated time is yesterday around 5 p.m.
The cause of death is blood loss from multiple stab wounds to the torso.
Multiple.
The weapon used to commit the murder is almost certainly the ice pick Mizuki was holding when we discovered her.
Like, it's understandable because she's 12, but that's always the dumbest thing. I call it like the Edgeworth effect for how brilliant and smart I consider Edgeworth to be. How he's at the Gourd Lake, somebody jumps out of the boat and then acts like they died, and so he picks up the gun in the boat. Like, just don't touch it, dude.
There are no fingerprints, hair, or other clues left behind by the culprit.
Well, what about by Mizuki, since she's holding it? Like, she could be the culprit. We can't rule that out, right? It would be the sort of cliche where she's accused and we have to protect her. What was the other thing that glue green there? Oh, the glove box.
Do you hide your risque reading material in there, Date?
I don't know. We've been working together for what, 5+ years, so you should know that by now.
Not at all. Why would I hide them there?
Just keep them in your database so I can see them in my mind. Because we're like neurally connected and stuff too. I love these pre-trial moments. This is something I always used to do with the Phoenix Wright games. I wish I had them saved, even with the Miles Edgeworth series. Like, where I would sit there at the beginning of an episode before like some major event. I guess I have some of them uploaded to YouTube now, or at least the first one for Spirit of Justice Case 3. So like, that's such a cool thing that I do.
When we arrived on the scene, there was no blood on the horse the body was mounted upon.
Of course, here it's not like you're going to trial, but I assume we're getting to like a big scene where we're going to confront Renju or something. I guess nobody even knows where he is right now. He owns like the company that Iris works for too. When we arrived, there was no blood on the horse.
Which means the merry-go-round wasn't the murder scene.
And she was stabbed multiple
Shoko was killed
times.
somewhere else and then brought there to be displayed.
And there were a lot of those like upside down horses
He
too.
couldn't have done it. She's 12.
Well, that doesn't mean anything
She can't
though.
move a body or drive a car.
Well, it could have just been moved from slightly.
Were you considering her a suspect?
You should, rightfully, if it wasn't like the ultimate conflict of interest case ever that we've seen.
That's part of the job.
Since every case in Phoenix Wright
There's
ever.
even the slightest possibility.
Then this is good news.
I like the presentation of it, but there's something weird about the dialogue in this game. Like, either they're trying too hard to be funny or It's definitely been silly.
It means the likelihood of Mizuki being the killer is almost zero.
Glad you don't have a horse in the race, I guess you could say. Am I right?
From the start, she would never put her hands on her own mother. She doesn't have what it takes to commit murder.
Says her literal guardian, father figure. Like, what the fuck? Kind of. You're the last person. I like how our boss even said that too. I thought you would be. I picked you for this case because you're personally involved with it. You know the victim. Like, that's exactly why you shouldn't call me for the case. About Shoko's corpse.
The corpse was found tied up on one of the horses of the merry-go-round. This makes it clear that the killer had no intention of hiding their crime.
On the contrary, they wanted to show it off.
It appears as though it was displayed deliberately,
Our perp wants the limelight.
or is attempting to send some kind of message.
And it could be the same person who did the copycat crime, or that this could be a copycat crime of the one 6 years ago, but we don't know what that is because we have memory loss, and also our boss is going to be tight-lipped about it. Of course, we could just look it up. How many cases could be similar to this one in the database that we have access to as a character, not as the player, really? About Shoko's corpse. Again, how many things do you have to say about it?
The corpse was found with her left eye removed.
Why would it make you keep going back into that? I guess, how much do you really want to hear about this gruesome murder of your friend?
That eyeball has yet to be found. According to Iris's testimony, when Ota first discovered the body, the ice pick was still lodged in the left eye socket.
So Mizuki took it out? Probably to help her mother, but
Why
that...
did Mizuki have the ice pick? Could she have taken the eye?
I don't know about taking the eye, but she took the pick at least.
Perhaps she was playing hide and seek.
Hide and seek?
It was not a serious suggestion. I was merely joking, as you call it.
Not a very tasteful joke.
Yes, as a matter of fact. I checked the surveillance cameras around Bloom Park again.
Any sign of Renju, that's
and
our
I
prime...
noticed something strange.
Something strange?
There were no cars. Yesterday, in the parking lot and the streets in the vicinity, there was not a single vehicle.
Are you sure?
I am.
So somebody snuck in and out on foot without you being able to notice it?
How did the suspect move the corpse?
I have no idea.
Maybe she came there herself, but then you would see signs of that too. So you kind of had to do a certain amount of that to advance the scene. That's the only thing I don't like, that it feels so scripted, like you don't have... I mean, these games usually are pretty scripted though.
Welcome back. I brought her here after her examination was over.
Mizuki. First time we're actually seeing her, but she's gonna be all spaced out. So she could almost be like the cutesy comic relief young, you know, assistant like Maya or something. But the problem is you also have Iris and you also have Aiba. So it's like they're overloading you with that trope. Which one do you want us to do? I wouldn't even mind having the boss as our... Well, we would be her assistant then, but still. It'd be like a Kathy Rain experience all over again, where I started off trying to figure everything out, but then she would spoon feed me because she was always 10 steps ahead.
No, still can't talk.
Was it okay for you to bring her here?
I got permission from the hospital. Apparently, the hospital director has been poking a few of the nurses. So I asked him about that, and all of a sudden he seemed very open to the idea.
It does say she's like a master manipulator in here. She seems all nice and like she doesn't know everything, but she, where does it say that? He says some very hateful things about the victim too, which means that it might, you know, this is his own personal thing. Someone who hurt her in the past. She likes to be envied and praised. She's very vain. Her skills are lying and cheating. Like, where's he getting that from, if not his personal experience? So where's his boss? Who, of course, they didn't give a name, which I think is incredibly stupid. Definitely doesn't look 42 to me. She, skills: grasping people's weaknesses, applying pressure, and making them obey, as we just see an example of right then with the hospital director.
That's not permission, it's blackmail.
Same thing. You know what you need to do now, right?
Question her too?
Sync with her.
Oh, of course, because basic police procedure testimony is too much for you. You have to... I thought we might do this one. They'll throw us a softball before we have to do it against like a culprit. So we're gonna face like a culprit who doesn't crack. This seems kind of very unethical. Just like she's spaced out and traumatized, and you're gonna do this shit to her? At least let her get better and then let her consent to it. Like, do you need a certain age of consent for the sinking? You could make all kinds of analogistic jokes to that. Like, oh my god, I'm not going to do it though.
Classic. Alternative. Progressive.
That's rock.
What is some of this dialogue? I don't get it.
Interesting. This kind of furniture is often used for pile drivers in professional wrestling.
Now, where on earth did you learn that?
The internet that she has access to at all times, probably. Various things. Okay. He has like a penchant for trying to pretend to be psychic too. Date, like he'll use Aiba, but he won't tell people about Aiba, and nobody knows about her, so. Although we were famous within the police force itself. Like one of the officers said, oh, you know, you're that famous detective. Why are you at the crime scene? Because we don't normally do that. We're normally more a sinker, whatever, what we're about to do now. Completely packed with books. Homoerotic BL manga or gay romance novels. Interesting, pewter. Oh, he's like the tech guy or something. Or he's the guy who made Aiba, I think. A metal shelf placed along the wall. We haven't met him yet, though. CRT.
Look, it's the girl from that horror movie, coming out of the well.
What the hell are you talking about?
The ring. CRT monitor. No one crawled out of it yet. Now that's actually topical to Japanese, right? Because I think that was originally a Japanese, wasn't it? I feel like, or maybe they remade it in Japanese. No, I think it was a remake of a Japanese movie for some reason. Just like how people don't know The Departed is a remake of a Chinese movie. That's actually really good. I actually saw that one first too, somehow. I tend to watch a lot of foreign movies. Definitely gets points for its originality. Strange strings of characters and figures scroll across the monitors. The door to the sink room. This reminds me of like the Half-Life chamber where everything goes wrong in there. We're gonna fuck something up and we'll have an alien invasion. What's it called in that one game? I forget. Like the Event Horizon, or no, it's something else. Chair. Just a chair. Nice. They bothered to give you the ability to look at it just to say that to you. I hate that. Binder full of papers. It looks like a manual for the sink machine. Now he's saying this like he's so unfamiliar, but isn't this something you do normally? Like his memory loss is from 7 years ago, not from like just now. It would make more sense if we just had the accident like yesterday and we're, you know, piecing stuff together. Why does he seem so oblivious to his own expertise? She has like that fake casual disposition about her, like she's very serious and to the point, but she does it in kind of a nice way just to win people over. Oh, this is Pewter for the first time we're meeting him in the game, at least, and we're gonna act like we don't even know him.
Renju Okiura is Mizuki's legal guardian.
I thought it was you.
Did you get permission from him?
I couldn't get in touch with him.
What? I thought he was being questioned by a local unit.
His questioning ended around noon.
Oh, at least we've
He hasn't
seen
been
him.
heard from since.
Why would he?
I don't know.
Makes him very suspicious, but at least he was properly questioned. Boss is watching Mizuki through the glass. Okay, sometimes it'll give you extra flavor
You're
there.
asking me that now? I'm asking you to sync with Mizuki because we have no progress.
Oh, I didn't even see what we asked. What was the question? Any progress on the investigation?
Maybe Mizuki saw something at the scene. Maybe she went inside that merry-go-round to hide. But she isn't answering any questions.
Oh, that would at least make sense, that she maybe saw the killer.
The only way to find out is to dive into her subconscious mind. Don't you agree?
Well, if this was your whole plan of process, then why did you think that because we're personally involved with the case, it would be useful to hire on this one? Why not just have anybody do it then? I guess we might be the best sinker too, so it's like a 2-for-1. It's not because we're personally involved, it's because we know how to sink, and you knew we'd have to do this all along.
If we don't do it now, then when? This is exactly the kind of situation Abyss was founded for.
What, to take traumatized 12-year-old little girls and to hack into their minds because you can't just question them or wait for them to get better?
Besides, if you dive into Mizuki's subconscious, you may be able to help her.
Yeah. altruistic motivations.
Psychogenic.
Aphonia. What is that again? I forgot. That's one thing where we have it. And it's not a new entry either. I don't think. BL is boys' love, a depiction of love and eroticism between men. Although it sounds vulgar, it is often a display of pure sublime love, and there are many worthwhile works of art in this genre. Don't be so close-minded. So I'm guessing Date is a fan because he's the one writing this stuff. Sync. Photosynaptic neural coupling. I think that's the first time we've actually heard the proper name of it. Used to enter the brain of subject, the syncer sinks into the deepest level of the subject's subconscious and synchronizes with their synapses to collect data. Dojinshi. Fan-made comic books that celebrate a particular franchise, usually erotic in nature. I don't have any, but I need to do some research, so please send some. Who is he talking to there? He's not talking to Aiba. Or maybe it's supposed to be the Aiba's writing this, but that wouldn't really make sense.
Physically, she's fine. Her injuries are mental.
Oh, I was trying to see what that is. I know that was in here, but that was in here from before. Was it like aphonia? Here. A medical condition in which a person cannot speak, usually from some kind of stress or trauma. Similar to muteness, not the same condition as aphasia, which is a loss of ability to understand speech entirely.
Which is understandable after seeing her mother like that.
So why was she out there?
You may be able to heal her, Date. You just have to sync with her.
This almost is like
You're the only one who can.
Athena thing where you kind of, what is it called again, where she uses her little widget to mess with people's minds on the stand? Not quite as extreme though, where you're actually going inside their head. That's still based on what they're saying to you. Somewhat. Mizuki's lying in the psych machine on the other side of the glass. Okay, those just repeat. I'm not going to try to talk to her yet. Let's talk to this guy first, Pewter. Bitch at him for making this Aiba so annoying. Or at least what Date finds it to be annoying. What is that? Something keeps growing green. Oh, you got to go on the outside of it. There's an enormous machine beyond the window that I've never seen before because this totally isn't my job. It is known as the sync machine. Like, they're doing it for the player's benefit, but it's always kind of immersion breaking when the character who's supposed to be experienced doesn't know what the hell is happening. Or acts all ignorant. Like Phoenix at least is on his first day on the job in Ace Attorney, but even then he doesn't know like what is evidence, what is an objection, what is a contradiction, what is a cross-examination. Like he went through law school, I guess he just justifies it by like he's just panicking because it's his first day and he's having like a blank out. But and then in the second game they try to justify like he actually bumped his head and lost his memory, or like the culprit does that to him. About Aiba, how's Mizuki? Yeah, let's complain about that.
Hey, Pewter. About Aiba. Could you do something about her personality?
Exactly.
Do something about it?
It wouldn't kill her to be more modest. Maybe a little more ladylike.
If you dare reprogram me, I will self-destruct in your eye socket.
We'll just reprogram you not to do that.
So you were listening, huh?
But we didn't. I gotta look at his face a little better. His real name is Amanoma, but he goes by Pewter here. 36 years old. He's a member of Abyss like me. He's a genius engineer that designed the sync system and other machines, including Aiba. He also invented Aiba. He's her caretaker in a way. Just like how you're Mizuki's caretaker, but yet the legal guardian is still that jerk, Renju, who we haven't even met yet. Right now he's operating the sync console. Just double check for flavor. Are you ready? How's Mizuki doing? You sure this is okay?
She's only 12.
Or it just said, you sure this okay? That's... Isn't it? Wait, we gotta look at the backlog for that. You sure this okay? That must be a typo.
You sure this is okay?
The machine is safe. I can guarantee that. You have nothing to worry about.
Like we've never used it before? I don't get how they're treating it like this. We can do it on the move, apparently, too. Like, we'll be... Or maybe not. But, like, how are we going to get Renju in here? We have, like, a mobile ability to just do it anyway because of Aiba or something? It wouldn't make sense otherwise.
Her vitals are stable. Her EEG is also stable. I think we can proceed.
He looks like some kind of Team Rocket, Team Flare type villain from Pokemon almost.
We are ready to begin.
Date, go to the sync room.
Got it.
Oh, I could have also initiated it by saying I should talk to Mizuki. So I did
Agent Date, Mizuki is reacting. Her heart rate is rising and her brainwaves are showing signs of disturbance. She may be getting nervous about the procedure.
Date, try to calm her down.
How do I do that?
It's true that she can't speak to you,
Why is he acting like such a novice in this?
but she can hear you. Try talking with her.
Sure thing, boss.
And again, because we personally know them, it's not like we're just doing this to anybody. Peter's watching me through the glass. I should say something.
Agent Date, please. Mizuki needs you.
Weird lip syncing, completely off there. Just gotta read all the flavor first. It's something that Aiba likes to do. She'll get upset at me if I don't. It's totally not my own OCD habit and tendency that I do in every game that I play. The boss is watching us through the glass.
Why are you talking to me right now?
Damn, I like how firm she is there. She seems so at a loss though. Like, it's only been one day and you're like already so desperate with the case that you're using. When you have a sync machine, everything looks like a target. It's just like you don't have any reservation about using it, or you won't try every other method first. You'll just jump right to it the very next day. The sync machine, yeah, nice dialogue there. I feel like there was something else green. The door, yeah, let's just leave. The door to the control room. Past that door is actually another door that will take you to the 6th basement floor of the government building. Sync gear. The sinker and the subject both wear the gear over their eyes during the sync. It acts as a sort of interface. So how would you do this to people out in the field is my whole question, right? Like if we meet Renji, we're not going to be able to bring him in here. You have to do it without him even knowing, I guess, too. The entrance to the syncing room is connected to the control room and a passageway. How did we do it before? I guess we did it in our own dream because of Aiba. It's going to be like the same mechanic, at least. That's how they introduced it to us. The subject's chair. Person sitting here is the subject of syncing. Are we going to have to knock him out and take him here unethically? Even though the whole thing seems kind of unethical. Sinker's chair, the person here does the syncing. So we should be about to go there ourselves then, I guess. So we've only done this mechanic once at the very beginning. Here's what's gonna happen. I guess she can't hear you, but she can't really... It seems like she could move around too, though, before. She at least moved into the center console thing. Mizuki is lying on the chair, more like she's just sitting, not really lying. About the sync gear, about Abyss. Yeah, did
Mizuki,
she...
I've never told you this, but I'm not an ordinary policeman.
So even she doesn't know, even though we're with her every day.
I belong to a special investigation unit called Abyss. Advanced Brain Investigation Squad.
Yeah, this is the best way to earn somebody's trust. Tell them about it right when you're about to fuck with their head. You're about to use it on them.
We explore the human mind with state-of-the-art technology and research.
Here, we'll give you an example.
There are a billion kinds of suspects and persons of interest out there.
Billions? Why is all the text like typoed and stuff now? They had the intern do this part, like where he said, what was the other thing? This... It was before. Oh, it doesn't go back far enough. But I do appreciate that they put the voice acting in there. This one didn't have any voice acting to it. Just random lines skipped. I'm clicking on it.
We explore the... There are a billion kinds of suspects and persons of interest out there. People that lie, people that don't say anything, people that have head injuries, or some that have deep mental wounds that keep them from talking. So, how do we get clues from these people?
This is actually a good organic way to explain it to the player, because he's explaining it to her for the first time. Unlike a lot of the other dialogue, which is like he acts like he doesn't know what he's doing himself.
We have to get inside their heads.
This is the correct way to do it.
Truth is in their minds. Our job is to find it.
Good exposition versus bad exposition.
I know it looks scary, but trust me, there's nothing to be afraid of. There's no pain, no side effects. When this is all over, you'll go back to your regular life like this never happened. Sinking is what we call diving into someone's subconscious mind. You sink deep down into their psyches, and you synchronize with their true selves. People like me are called sinkers. Sinkers enter the subject's subconscious, which is a dreamlike state we call Somnium. It's Latin for dream. There are 6 sinkers at Abyss. I'm one of them.
One of only 6, huh? I think somehow I keep changing my mic in such a way that now I think it's picking up from my headphone. It probably shouldn't be that loud though.
I'm gonna be inside your head. I'll be looking for clues about the culprit.
Not only that, we will also attempt to discover the cause of Mizuki's muteness and rectify it. With her aphonia cured, we can ask her further questions directly.
Kind of a cold way to say it. We're not doing it for your own good, we're just doing it to solve the case, but that is what you should be doing if you weren't so personally involved.
When this is all over, what should I say?
When this is all over, oh, actual meaningful dialogue option? Let's go get some sushi. Let's go get some ramen. Let's go get some unagi. Let's go get some of that stew you like. Did we hear anything that... Oh, we can use our file to get clues on this. Like, what does she like the most? Mizuki likes ramen, stew, unagi. Oh, she likes all of them. Raw seafood. So maybe there's one that's like a dud option. She likes a certain kind of stew. I'll just go with that.
Hey, remember when we went last time? You were laughing about how it looked like throw up, but it tasted so good. You were devouring it. You kept saying it looked awful, but you loved it.
Do you not have a more heartwarming story, or...
Hey, I didn't know he was going to talk about throw up.
I'm sorry, I'm really bad at this.
Date, her heart rate is steadying. EEG is stable.
Date, get into position. Let's begin.
Oh, and Special Agent, I forgot to mention one thing. I added a new feature to the sync system.
A new feature?
You'll learn more when you're synced. It's very useful.
Sure, got it.
Date, you ready?
Okay, ready anytime.
Remember, Date, you have only 6 minutes in the Somnium world.
I hope that's...
Any longer, and your consciousness will be absorbed by the subjects.
Yeah, I know.
Didn't happen last
Find
time.
the lead and get out in under 6 minutes.
That's pretty,
Counting on you.
Well then, let's begin.
Oh, I hate that. Like in Danganronpa, where there's actually a time limit. I don't think we had that before when we were in our own mind. So that could be a failure state, and there's also the failure state of like you only get like 3 retries. So I wonder how that's gonna work. So now after all this time and prep, we're gonna fail and lose the whole fucking playthrough. Or at least we could. That's the hilarious thing. That's why you do these trial reviews and stuff. Like even Phoenix Wright I do in permadeath, or at least I somewhat do. With Spirit of Justice I did for the last case. Which was epic. It came down to the wire with like 1 little Magatama left. So here you get 3 retries only. I think it's sad.
Nothing. I was merely trying to enter the scene like a cybernetic assassin from the future.
Well, if you're trying to do that, you'd have to do it naked. Is this Bloom Park? Lightning and a birdcage. Maybe this is representative of Mizuki's state of mind.
The fact that Shoko was killed here must weigh heavily on Mizuki's heart.
Oh, this is cool. So I thought maybe we'd see the same environment every time and just different things in it, but now it'll show us
Mizuki should be inside that column.
different places at
To get
least.
the information we need, we will have to deal with the lightning and the cage and get to Mizuki.
Move fast, or time is going to run out.
Unnecessary. Look around.
Look around?
This is the new feature of Sync that Pewter mentioned.
You can stop time?
Only when standing still. Time is moving incredibly slowly.
Oh, that's good. At least so we can think about it as long as we want and then make it move.
Currently, you and I are transmitting information at high speed, so it only appears as though time has stopped. Are you familiar with the concept of time dilation?
It has to do with relativity, right? Two people can experience time differently depending on space-time.
This is similar to that. The flow of time in Somnium is different than the real world.
This could be useful. You can only stay in Somnium for 6 minutes, right? But with this, you could take your time and explore.
Let's get started. Somnium scan! Activate!
Mental lock 1. So now I hope it's not just like last time where you do a bunch of random stuff, like put the gun in the keyhole. Like it should always be something intrinsic to the case that you actually have to figure out. So she's still in there right now. Mental lock 3. Heal Mizuki's heart. Now we could walk around freely like this the last time. It's kind of weird that it doesn't let you do that as in the real world. You can only do it as Aiba. Mizuki is immune. By healing her mental wounds, you may be able to get important info.
To reach Mizuki, something must be done about the lightning that keeps striking the birdcage.
Lightning's supposed to strike at the highest point.
An ice pick piercing Shoko's photograph.
Kind of freaky that those horses are moving. They're just supposed to be mannequins like the other thing. What the fuck?
Aiba, speaker over there. It's shaking.
I see. It must be connected to the ice pick.
What do we do here?
Healing Mizuki should be your top priority.
I know.
There's a 6-minute time limit in Somnia. Time is expended whenever Aiba is moving or performing an action. Pay attention to the remaining time in the upper right screen. Unlock all mental locks within the 360. I'm not the biggest fan of that. Now it gives you way more time here, but you technically still do have a time limit. Get rid of the lightning. Mental lock 1. Big birdcage speaker pillar.
An ice pick stabbed into Shoko's photograph.
Now will this take up time because she's looking at it? Oh, here it will. 20 seconds, 10 seconds. Push it, push in, pull out. Well, pull out is what she did. So let's do that, I guess.
Right. No one would want to see their mother like this.
But what if she was still alive and the act of pulling out the thing is what caused her to bleed out to death? That could potentially be a thing. Like, at least it keeps it in there, as weird as that seems. But as a 12-year-old worried for your mother, wouldn't really
Keeps going. What is this?
think like that?
Something happened over there.
Nobody seems to be worried about those moving horses. They weren't like that before. Unlocked. Redirected with a lightning rod.
It became a lightning rod.
It's so arbitrary. I don't want it to always be like
Looks
this.
like you can get to the birdcage.
So I wonder, what if I did the other
Our
thing?
next step must be to remove it.
Would that have been a negative, or would it have worked in some other way, or would it have just wasted time? I guess just doing what she did would be the best
Got it. We got a timing.
thing.
Timey?
Time induction matter in encephalon. You can think of it as an item that affects the flow of time.
So you'll get time back for making the right choice?
Using this, you can slow down or speed up time in Somnium.
Why would I want to speed it up?
Is this another function Pewter added?
Correct.
Sounds like a dream.
Well, it is a dream. And because it is a dream, extraordinary things such as this are possible.
Got it. Guess I'll try to use them where I can.
Timies are items that affect time. You will sometimes obtain them when you perform an action. They only affect the time taken to perform an action. You're only able to hold up to 3. So this is like a secondary... It's not really the failure state thing, but it'll protect you from it further. So you get 3 retries. I wonder if that's only based on time or if you just fuck something up. So moving around will actually hurt you. Log retry. I wonder what that means. Like if you just fuck something up for good. Microphone, big word circuit. So we were kind of concerned.
This appears to be the microphone for the speaker.
Concerned with this. You can threaten it, you can shout. 10 seconds, let's try shout. It just feels like all random stuff.
Stop it! Stop it already!
I'm the one who made her do that, so that's probably gonna Remove the birdcage, blow the birdcage away. Maybe that's just what it wants me to do.
Enormous birdcage.
Slip through or lift. Well, if you can slip through,
It is too narrow.
then why would it...
Your body is slim enough to get through.
You think so? In that case...
Guess you're fatter than I thought.
I am not. I am just large-breasted.
Doesn't look like it.
That's really the most important feature on an AI. I'm kind of wasting time by doing this.
Agent Date, you've got 5 minutes.
Shit, I'm already screwing up. How do you just lift it, though?
Understood.
So you can do that, but you can't just push it off to the side? Shit. Big bird cage. Remove it, blow it away. Redirected the light. So I do get 3 retries, but this is gonna be... Maybe you can use the control room?
Of the merry-go-round lifted out of the ground.
Knock or open.
What is your plan once I am inside?
It is a control room. Maybe we can do something in there.
I do not think it will be that easy.
Just try it.
Yeah, better than just trying to lift up the fucking metal thing. Or trying to slip through it. I thought the slip through might actually work.
I didn't expect to see this inside.
I do not see an exit either.
But there's something suspicious here.
Will at least not take up time while I'm in here? Or maybe the act of going in will take up time but not the rest.
2 bird cages.
Looks like there's something inside them. Take a look.
Oh, it still will take up time. Left birdcage, right birdcage. Balloons will lift it up. This is just random, like, torn up pictures.
A bird cage with blown up rubbers inside. There is also a deflated rubber on the floor.
Could you please not call it a rubber? You can say balloon.
I do not understand. It is clearly rubber.
Please.
Why is he so bothered by that? Peek inside, lift, tackle. So lifting it, you would think, would lift the one. Time will not be used.
This
Why
will
not?
be easy.
Why wouldn't it be used? It says 55 seconds right there.
Hear it.
It should be used. So, will this solve the problem?
What? But it was so heavy.
Okay. I mean, it kind of makes sense, but I just... All this stuff has nothing to do with the actual case itself.
What is this?
A deflated balloon.
Retry will allow you to... You only have 3 retries. You regain your 3 retries by selecting restart. No, you don't get to do that, though. You don't get to fail the sync. You die if that happens. So does that mean I failed? Like, why is it telling me that?
A deflated rubber.
I told you, please call it a balloon.
What are you getting so worked up about?
Yeah, that's the most passionate he's been about anything. Blow it up, throw it, eat it. 40
Understood.
seconds. Imagine if I failed at just this random stuff. Like, I don't know what any of this is doing. You would think it would have floated maybe the cage itself up.
Huge. I wish your boobs were that big.
Okay.
Are you serious? Those are obscenely large for a human. Well, I suppose I am not technically human.
So...
Date, please, be quiet.
Yeah, he has been perverted, like, a lot. Especially in that building, he was looking at the secretary, who we never even got to talk to. Okay, so that's all the second one. So now we still have like 200 seconds for just the last one.
We're able to get out?
Perhaps the balloon was the key.
The story I heard from Mizuki a while back. One time when Mizuki was a little girl, Shoko bought her a balloon. It was one of the nice helium ones, but the string slipped up in her hand. The balloon sailed into the sky. Shoko snapped. She scolded Mizuki for hours. Maybe that's why. Put balloons inside the birdcage. Wait, what? Sling stripped through her hand. It sailed in the sky. So her mother was that upset for that long? It's just a balloon, dude. And she's like the executive at some big company, right? maybe she wasn't at that time. Just buy her another one, damn. Look at Mizuki. I'll save some of this other flavor for after the sink, I guess. Wait, oh no, not Mizuki. What was her name again? Shoko. Shoko Nadami. Investment company representative / director. So both of them are pretty rich. Entertainment company and maid cafe manager. Or no, maybe he doesn't own it, he just manages it. That way they can never fly away again. But I guess Iva and I made her
Now that the birdcage is off, let's get in the sink.
relive that painful memory of getting scolded over a balloon, but forget about the painful memory of witnessing her mother die.
Do you not see the horses spinning at hurricane speeds?
Maybe that was her motive. We figured it out. He stabbed her with an ice pick because she fucking scolded her over a balloon. She never forgot.
If you stop time, you can go in, right?
Kids do hold extreme grudges over very small things sometimes.
But I cannot stop time while I'm moving.
Like, what's the saying? Like, when you're young, everything seems like the end of the world.
Oh, right.
Every little thing seems like the end of the
So
world.
we gotta figure out how to stop it from spinning.
Selecting the map icon will bring up a map of the world. You can see your current locations and objects you've investigated. If you are lost or want to save time, try checking the map. So I'm not worried about the time ticking down. What the fuck?
3 minutes, Doctor.
I get it. I get it. But you get 3 retries without technically failing. It's not like we have to do it within 1, right? Like, it's like if the game gives you 3 lives, you have 3 lives still. Otherwise, it'd be more like a hit list run type of thing. Microphone. So, wait, how do you see the map again? Y. Which you can't see freely in the overworld. You can only do it like when it prompts you to. Microphone, gate, parasol. I don't know what I'm doing with these. Okay, you move like this. So it's good to see stuff that you haven't looked at, so you don't have to walk too far. Redirected the light, blew away the cage, so we have to do something in the meantime. So you have to decide which one I guess I want to go to. The microphone I already tried. Parasol, Panda Head, or Gate? What is the gate? I don't have enough time to go to each of them necessarily, or at least to interact with each of them. I don't see why that would matter. The head. What is this one? Around the outside. Parasol, gate. So we got rid of the one gate, but now we have this stupid thing in the way. What would this even do?
The entrance gate.
Tackle it or open it, but why? I guess I'm just doing every little random
You
thing.
need more than a little force to open this. This gate is as solid as my virtue.
I don't know how solid your virtue is.
10 seconds. Wait, what are those other little mechanic, the time-y thing, whatever. I forget what it is now. How to even use them. Maybe we'll look in the file for that. Appendix. Sinker. Imagine if it doesn't put that in there. Time limit. Timey. A timey is an item that affects the flow of time. You can obtain them after certain choices you make. They can potentially lower the time it takes to perform an action. You can only hold 3, picking up 1 will replace 1. Disappear after use, but try to use them actively. How do you even use them though?
The entrance gate.
I could tackle it. I could use one of these. Left button, select, make time, time to make. So I guess it'll
Leave it to me.
reduce the time by a little bit.
The gate hurts more than I do.
Doubt it.
I don't see what that would even do for us. We have the retry, so I'm not that worried about it, but I guess basically we're just going to wander around and interact with random stuff because I have no idea what.
The parasol is spinning freely.
Parasol is spinning. Breathe on it, stop it, spin more. I guess we could stop it.
Leave it to me. Oh, it's hot.
A lot of this is just her randomly trying to do stuff that she's not strong enough to do.
I don't think force is the answer here.
Well, then we don't have any other. I don't get it. So we looked at that. We looked at the bottom one. So the only thing we didn't interact with was like the panda or maybe the microphone again. Since we're here, we
Parasol is spinning freely.
may as well try it. Breathe on, spin more. So why don't we use some of these? 5 seconds, 3 seconds. Let's do that one.
Got it.
Getting very low. Okay.
I was going crazy. Stop it, quick! Their rotations are linked.
Mizuki is in there. Is she okay?
She hasn't passed out from the G-force. She's dizzy as hell.
The parasol is spinning freely.
So the point would be to stop it. I'm not going to waste 45 seconds to breathe on it. Stop Mizuki's tears. Oh, at least we've got it to stop sometimes. Or no, it only stops when I stop. Maybe we have to use the panda to do that. I have no idea what I'm doing even. This could
Panda is floating.
just be a dud to bait you. Slap down, kick away, where? Maybe that'll make her stop crying. I have no fucking idea. This mechanic is so weird.
Wear it? Like this?
Just do a bunch of random stuff. It'll allow you to fly in there, I guess. Yeah, that was really worth.
How are you doing that?
Unknown.
Yeah, that
That was a waste of time.
It was kind of fun though.
gotta keep up Aiba's morale. Stop Mizuki.
1 minute! Hurry!
Oh, I guess you can retry when you're low on time. Retry from the last thing. So you get 3 retries. Microphone. So I don't know what else there's even to interact with. You can interact with that. You could maybe blow on the other thing.
The panda.
Slap down, kick away. This entire thing seems like a waste of time to me, but we may as well use these, so this won't take up anything at all.
I see it. The view from the top.
This will somehow actually solve the problem. Like, it has nothing to do with actual. Yeah, this one's gonna. We lost to a panda head, to a floating panda.
Hey, 30 seconds!
I think you do have to stop though before. So let me retry now. Before I actually fail. Which would you like to restart from? Lock 2, time 192 seconds. Return to this checkpoint, sure. So that's 1 down. Deflated balloon. So what is it that it wants me to do?
Weighted rubber.
I told you, please call it.
Okay, we can skip through all this. I think by blowing it up, we got to use these timey things more too, though. Because when you have 3, it just overlaps them anyway. You can't hold that many. Okay, do this, and then what did we do next? We made the parasol go faster. So what would I do after that, I wonder? Or maybe doing the parasol was wrong, but... Okay, so at least we save a little bit of time here. I wasn't using the timey things at the beginning at all, though.
Perhaps the balloon was.
Sorry, I heard. Yeah, we heard this.
All right, now that the birdcage is off, let's get Mizuki.
Do you not see the horses?
If you stop time, you can go in, right?
But I cannot stop time while I'm moving.
Oh, right. Guess we gotta figure out how to stop it from spinning.
It even shows you the panda head just to troll you.
You have 3 minutes, Date.
Shit. So now it's gonna make the retries a little more tantalizing to do. So which one didn't I? Oh my god, I'm gonna get cucked by the panda. I can't help but try it again, especially since it showed it there. What did we do? We slapped it down, we wore it. So let's use this one to kick it away.
All right.
Of course, that's
What is this?
perfectly logical thing to do.
It's gonna fly.
Date, over there.
Yeah, of course, that's what you were supposed to do. Amazing. Give me some more logic, information-based ones where I have to like
Why?
present evidence or
Why
something.
is Iris?
She appears to be frozen.
What the hell is going on? What is this?
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! I'm sorry! I'm sorry! I'm sorry! Why do you never keep quiet? Is this fun for you? Giving your mother a hard time?
She is a bitch. Not surprising that she would have bitched at her over a mere balloon.
That hurts! Please stop! I'm sorry!
Maybe she really did do it then, like in self-defense though.
Why are you here? I'm sorry! I'm
Maybe she sent the denial message herself?
I wish you had never been born!
Mizuki's voice. The other voice is likely...
Yeah, it even says who it is, right?
What's going on here? Iba, look out!
What?
Of course, we have to take this brain-induced hallucination seriously.
I was about to become a pancake.
Good thing this isn't a bed and breakfast.
That frozen iris does intrigue me. But Mizuki first.
Let's get to Mizuki while the merry-go-round is stopped.
Even if it seems like you don't have a lot of time, don't give up. You might be able to do it. More than 1 second. Are you clear? You get a prize. No boss, nothing like that. Oh, they're trying to bet on like how much time I'll have left or whether I'll fail or not.
It's Mizuki.
Give present, encourage, speak kindly, break the glass. So we have to do, well, I'll use this one, I guess. So this will reduce it by 1/4 of time. This will reduce it by 1/3 of time. It kind of rounds down though. Encourage, give present. What kind of present do we have?
A gift? Oh, that might work.
With the act of going up to get it won't take up time, or I guess it accounts for that.
Mizuki, now you can have a taste of the merry-go-round every day of your life. It will also improve your health.
That's your gift?
So how was I supposed to know she was gonna do that?
It's Mizuki.
Less than 1 minute. Hurry!
Encourage, speak kindly for 45 seconds, but we can take away 30. So it should be fine. I might have to retry after
Mizuki, can you hear me?
this though, if this doesn't work.
We will protect you, Mizuki. We will always be there for you.
Yeah, it totally is convincing when you have your exoskeleton sticking out like that.
It's all right now.
From your hand, you look like a Terminator villain or something. That's all it took.
Hey, do you think we can use that speaker? Maybe she needs to hear her mother's voice.
Yeah, bitching at her again. Or wait, since that was Iris, does that mean that Iris was... No, I'm assuming I did it right, otherwise it wouldn't go...
I am so glad that you were born. So glad.
Oh, and the fact that she was crying is why it's raining. That's kind of a cool way to show it in this.
Hey, do you hear something?
Is that a phone ringing?
Where's it coming from?
Date, don't! You can't stay any longer!
Really? We had still plenty of time. But this is scripted, part of the... whatever. Yeah. We could even do another retry, and then we'd have more time, because I would know exactly what to do. So none of that was really instructive to the case. Like, it didn't... I mean, it didn't require me to... Oh, shit. I guess we had less time than I realized. 10 seconds. So what if I had used it all? No, I guess it would still be fine. But I guess you could fail, because then it won't let you use a retry, or maybe it will. But you could just die to that, not realizing that you're taking up more time than you have. Like, going in the negative could just cause you to lose. So I'm assuming that she'll be okay now. Yeah, that's all you had to do. Just fucking hook up a
Are you okay?
device to her head and fucking fuck with her head to make her better. She hasn't even said anything so far.
Mizuki.
Maybe she's upset that we...
Been healed. She's still traumatized.
Well, I did the locks properly. Don't blame me. Yeah, like, this isn't just some magic that can get her over the death of her mother yesterday. Like, that takes time.
Iba, call Iris's phone. It's urgent.
Why the rush?
Please, just call.
Yeah, what does she have to do with that?
This is Kaname Date from the MPD. I met you earlier today.
Oh, Date. Is something wrong?
Where are you right now?
I'm at home.
Okay, don't go anywhere. Lock the door and stay at home.
Can you tell me why?
Who cares why? This is a direct order from the police.
You mean a personal order?
Okay, but if I do, will you play Shovel Forge with me tomorrow?
No.
Then go on a date with me.
A date?
If you promise me we'll go on a date, I'll stay home and not say a peep. If you don't promise me, then I'll wander around the city dragging a heavy suitcase.
Or she could even blackmail us with that video still, right? She maybe still has it, or maybe she promised she'd delete it.
All right. Understood.
Understood?
Great! Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Yeah, really the badass cop who can interrogate witnesses and get people to do what he says.
Just don't go outside, okay?
Caving to an 18-year-old
If anything
girl.
happens, call me immediately. My number is...
I have it in my history. See ya!
What was that? A phone call?
It's nothing.
Do we feel like she's under threat maybe from the killer? I mean, it's obviously going to be that Renji guy. Different strings of characters. Okay, we've already seen that. Yet it'll make you look at it again. Monitor is turned off. Insert joke about the ring, whatever the fuck she was saying before. Door leads to the sink room. So that was kind of anticlimactic. I'm not a big fan of the way that mechanic works. It doesn't really tie into what you know about the case. You're just kind of interacting with random stuff. Like, oh, you're supposed to move the panda head. Like, what the fuck is that? It's so arbitrary and stupid. Hopefully they get better later, but... Or hopefully there's just more of a questioning mechanic in general that's actually... You know, like cross-examination type stuff where you have to point out somebody's lies. A locker.
Hey, Date. Remember that time you were blackout drunk? You thought that locker was a urinal?
Please don't remind me.
Apparently you don't get fired for such things. Your boss just chides you for it jokingly. Locker in the corner. Well, you came into the work like that? Blackout drunk. Or maybe you were celebrating the victory of a case, so it was after the fact.
This brings me back. Date and I used to make love on this table.
We did not.
Before you lost your memory, how would you...
poured salmon roe and seaweed salad all over each other.
That sounds even more kinky.
Many objects are scattered on the table. Yeah, see, she was threatening us with sexual harassment, but we could easily do it on her for stuff like that. CRT monitor.
Today is Saturday. No reaction drama should be broadcasting soon.
Yeah, the longest fucking day ever.
Won't. Second, that's not even a TV.
I guess I'm not giving it credit that it was still Friday when we initially saw the crime scene. But no, I did account for that, and it's still so long. CRT monitor, steel shelf. What is that? Binder? Open the binder. There are pictures of macho-looking men in loincloths with roses in their mouths. Okay. Binder. At least that one gave us some actual flavor text. A metal shelf. Some of it, that is the most redundant, ridiculous thing in the whole game. Like, they could just not let you look at those things to begin with, right? Don't let the steel shelf thing be an icon in the first place, but whatever. Do you believe in prophetic dreams? About what I saw in Somnium. So basically, we had the same premonition with Hitomi. So if Hitomi was dead, Hitomi and Iris could both be the next victims. About Mizuki is getting cut off by the UI there on the right.
It didn't go well.
Let's see what it actually said, since it wouldn't let me read it there. About aphonia.
But it's not all bad. The sink wasn't a total waste of time. We found clues.
Clues. Right.
That we won't be able to use ever, right, actively. It seems like you just... Everything's like on rails still so far. Like, when do we get to present stuff or answer questions with stuff? Oh, it just kind of froze there.
Where is this coming from? Oh, I see. This is about the body you saw in Mizuki's Somnium. Her name is Iris Sagan.
Oh, she doesn't know that we know
The
her.
girl you went to Bloom Park with today.
Oh no, she does
How
know.
do you know that?
Iba told me.
It is one of my duties to deliver regular investigation reports.
And the one we were just on the phone with, too?
Prophecies, huh? That's why you called Iris.
But that's why, unless Hitomi's dead
But
in the first
Date,
place.
Come on.
I know. A dream is just a dream. doesn't necessarily have anything to do with reality.
But maybe that's Mizuki giving you a warning in her dream that maybe she knows that Iris is in danger, so it's actually a justifiable thing that a witness is basically telling you that through the thing.
I just have this gut feeling.
I don't see why you would discredit it. In fact, if the whole dream that you're going into is not credible, then why would you even bother doing it?
Are you alright? Perhaps the sink is causing negative side effects.
I hope that's all it is.
You would be okay with that, though? Also watching Mizuki with a compassionate gaze, only as soon as you stop talking to her.
No need to report specifics. We saw it all from here in the control room.
Yeah, why don't you tell me then?
What the sinker sees in Somnium is projected here, remember?
No, we don't remember anything. We're doing this for the first time,
We've got it all
apparently.
recorded.
Isn't it incredible? I invented it.
We've known that for years.
So we know about everything you saw.
How many times?
Phone, the frozen corpse.
We get it. She said the same thing like 50 times. Like, we know what you saw. We know what you saw. No need to report it. We saw it all. We see what you see. We got it all recorded. We saw everything you saw. Like, what the fuck?
Ringtone in Mizuki's Somnium.
I know. But I couldn't tell where it was coming from.
Yeah.
Somebody's phone was ringing as he was
I don't
there.
even know if it's real or something Mizuki invented. But if Mizuki really did hear that ringtone,
Then there must have been a phone somewhere on site.
Like a cell phone, too, not the payphone that Oda went to.
did CSI report anything like that?
No, nothing.
But doesn't that make Iris and Oda witnesses who should also be called in, and we could also do the same thing to them? Or at the very least, they should give a proper statement.
They searched the site, but didn't find a single thing.
I guess we did talk to them, but that felt kind of unofficial. We were trying to hide, in fact, the fact that we even went with Iris in the first place from her. Let's look at the chair first. Nice. Gonna get a 100% flavor text run here. About prophetic dreams, about the ringtone I heard in Somnium, about Somnium. Hands in his pockets.
In a
Pokemon.
normal dream, the person experiencing the dream cannot remove themselves from it.
Pokemon villain cosplayer here. In a normal dream, the person experiencing the dream cannot remove themselves from it.
Dreams are first-person experiences. However, the circumstances are slightly different during a sync. The sinker dives into the subject's mind and experiences their subconscious thoughts.
Showing me like a Roman Colosseum there.
This dream is experienced as an observer, as though you were watching a play. The subject is the author, director, and actor.
So you should take that warning about Iris seriously. I guess he did because he warned
The
her.
sinker is merely the audience.
We gotta fucking find that Renju guy. I guess he did come in for questioning.
I know about the ringtone you heard.
But I couldn't tell where it was coming from.
See, all these options are like an eventuality. The only thing that could happen is you might miss flavor. It's not like you're gonna get something wrong or piss somebody off, or, you know, it's all just the fact that they let you choose is kind of an illusion of choice. Very much like Phoenix Wright. You just have to ask point form, ask everything to them, or, you know, ask them in order.
Did Mizuki actually hear that?
It doesn't really matter what you choose.
Was it just a dream? Or her imagination?
That's what I'm trying to find out. Can you analyze the sound or something?
Unfortunately not.
Yeah, we gotta find everybody in the city with that ringtone, and they're the culprit. We're gonna hear that on Renju's phone later.
Ah, the corpse you saw in Somnium.
We are friends with him, so it's not. This is like a Christoph Phoenix moment from Apollo
You're
Justice.
wondering if that was some kind of vision of the future.
Yeah, that's right.
No, it doesn't have to be a vision. It could just be something that the subject that you're in their mind, they could be worried about that, and they could have credible reason to believe that it might happen.
Well, let's see. As a man of science, I don't believe in such things.
But it's a product of your very scientific process, is it not?
Prophecies and the like.
Why does it have to be a prophecy? It could just be her gut feeling.
However, if it was a prophecy, I would suggest the girl wear some kind of metal plate.
Huh?
You saw her. She was stabbed countless times in the back. She could have used some stab-proof armor or something.
He's not amused.
Just indulging in the fantasy of
real-life prophecies? Don't mind me. Anyway, prophecies are simply not possible.
True.
What's with everybody just repeating the same thing over and over?
See?
That made him seem like a little bit sick and perverted himself. Like he might turn out to be a major villain later. He could be like the final boss, the one who created the very thing, right? And we can even hear how he said it.
She could have used some stab-proof armor or something.
Just the way he said this line.
Just indulging in the fantasy of real-life prophecies. Don't mind me.
He even laughs after it.
Just indulging in the fantasy of real-life prophecies. Don't mind me.
You just kind of let it go in passing, though. Okay, so I think we asked everything we could ask of both of these. So you could have theoretically skipped that if you just talked to her first. This would probably advance the scene. About Iris's body, are you okay? That's the first thing you should ask. She hasn't said anything yet since she has been recovered in the hospital even. Just ask about your mother's body, or not even about your friend's body, about the ringtone I heard, about the Nile message. Yeah, how about you just let her get better in a bed somewhere for a while? Don't rely on her because you're so
something strange in your dream.
desperate or bad at your job.
Iris, she was frozen.
Yeah, you know how you're so traumatized about your mother that you can't even speak? Let's talk about the other dead person in your mind right now.
Dead.
Yeah, get traumatized over this too.
What was that? Tell me, Mizuki, please.
I won't tell you about the mother, but I'll tell you about this.
Date, there is no point attempting to speak with her. Mizuki's aphonia has not healed.
Yeah, I'm still gonna do it.
Hey, Mizuki, tell me something. In your dream world, I heard a phone ring. Did you hear that somewhere? Or did you just imagine it?
Date,
Could have been.
There's no point talking to her.
So first our AI tells us that, then our boss tells us that, but we have to do it to advance the scene.
You couldn't heal her. Her symptoms haven't improved.
Is that because I failed as a player? Because I did do all 3 of the locks. It's just an RP thing that the character
She'll be
failed.
sent back to the hospital. Maybe the doctors can help her.
I wonder what would have happened if we had failed then. In my version, because it's a permadeath, we would die. We would get locked in there with the person's psyche and not be able to come back out or something. That's even what they say, I guess, but the first playthrough permadeath thing makes something like a direct interpretation. Like in Pokemon, if you get knocked out in the wild, you don't pass out and come back to the Pokemon Center, right? As a player, you just die there. The Pokemon would just kill you and eat you and tear you apart. Even if that seems kind of dark, that's really what would happen. Or even if it's like Team Flare, they wouldn't just let you go back to town, they would just kill you. Or they would at least take you captive or something. She's sitting on the chair. She looks drained like an abandoned doll.
Mizuki, I have to ask you. You got a Nile message yesterday, and then you went to Bloom Park.
It could be from Shoko herself based on what that conversation was. But no, because she was like, why are you here?
Who sent you the message?
I checked her phone, but the history was white.
Renju.
I am trying to identify the sender now, but it will take some time.
Really, it seemed like Aiba was able to do all this stuff herself, just easily hack into people's phones and emails and stuff.
Mizuki, when we found you at the merry-go-round, you were holding the ice pick.
I'm not the biggest fan of that mechanic though, but at least we survived it.
I'm not accusing you of anything.
Imagine if it's just like, you know, we end up playing a really bad game though, then we have no choice but to play it. That's the downside of these Gauntlet formats that I do, like PS Plus format or I mean PS Now Gauntlet. You play through every single game in order, and of course they're permadeath or some kind of hard mode added into it, but then it forces you to play stuff like, it's almost like you'd want to die on purpose if you're not enjoying a game.
I trust you.
But I would never throw on purpose,
Just
of course.
want to know why you were holding it.
Or I could just use that as an excuse for my failure, but that's like an integrity issue. I would never do that.
Answer me, Mizuki.
I think Pokemon Y is one of the only first playthrough permadeath that I really completed all the way. I mean, a lot of them that I've done is like Detroit technically counts because you could have every character die, but
Date, please. Yelling at her is counterproductive.
hacking into her mind is not.
Damn it.
Just give her time, dude. Try to figure it out some other way. Maybe there's something else I can do here? Or now there's new dialogue. Summarize for me what happened in there.
I think I'll go to Bloom Park again.
Looking for the phone?
It might be there, it might not. I just want to be sure.
So, you know, with something like that, it's like, shouldn't you have found it in the first place, though, even if you didn't know what you were looking for? Like the Mark Furman testimony. I forget, I think F. Lee Bailey or whatever was questioning him. I love that moment. It's like, you know, was it, we're not asking if you were looking for that item specifically, like the knife or the murder weapon or whatever, but was it among the things that you were looking for? Like, we should have been looking for the phone, even though we weren't looking for the phone specifically.
Take care of Mizuki, okay?
Yeah, leave it to me.
So it's still an indictment of our investigative processes, right? You don't have to be told, look for this. Look for anything that might stand out. And that object might be among them. In retrospect. So now we can actually leave. I don't like how you can't do this freely, though. Let me go back to the car whenever I want, just to think the case over. Like, it even gives you this map. Maybe later on in the playthrough, it'll give you more freedom. Speaking of the car scene.
Yesterday night, the body of Shoko Nadami was found. Her body was recovered from the now-defunct Bloom Park in the Kawasaki district.
This is where the press kind of just ruins the whole investigation, though, because now, like, the killer knows all the details of the case.
Autopsy reports revealed that her time of death was roughly 5 p.m. last afternoon. Police have determined that the victim was killed elsewhere and then brought to Bloom Park to be put on display.
So basically everything that we, yeah, thanks radio, you can just be do my pre-trial review for me. You'll save me a whole hour of sitting here looking like a...
PD has expanded the scope of their investigation and are encouraging anyone with any information to come forward.
Yeah, anything else you want to tell the killer who's totally not listening right now?
In other news, at 6:10 p.m. today, on the outer circle of the Capital City Highway in Minato District, Tokyo,
It's gonna be the Iris
a
died.
traffic collision occurred involving 5 cars and at least 1 truck. As a result of the pileup, 1 man was sent to the hospital unconscious in critical condition.
You think this would be unrelated, but it's making
6
us
other individuals were treated for minor injuries.
sit through it. Maybe Iris or her mother.
PD has arrested the driver of the truck suspected to be the cause of the accident for negligence. The investigation is ongoing.
You're just listening to random flavor? Chekhov's truck. It's gonna come into play somehow. These car scenes are very strange. It's a good way to just fill in exposition, though, I guess. Like the one before that, we basically had nothing even happen. We were just driving there by ourselves. So now I was there. Oh, we're kind of remembering the vision of what happened. So it could give us a clue as to where the phone could be, at least. But it was just so all over the place, that vision. It wasn't like very clear or related to reality, like the panda head and all kinds of random shit. Skewered horse, merry-go-round horse, these were kind of moving around. I think it's supposed to look creepy more so than pathetic. Night sky of Tokyo is bright. The sky is clear, but I can't see the stars. Kawasaki district buildings in the distance, okay. Got the little fence. Nobody's bothered to take those horses down. I guess they want to maintain the crime scene, but that looks kind of disturbing. I don't know what we're going to learn from that. Now, Aiba kind of blocks you as you're doing this, or whatever's in your vision. Wait there, a shooting star. A wish, a wish. While I was thinking, the shooting star vanished. Raika from the Cabaret Club. The shooting star vanished before I could finish my wish. I want to motorboat. Damn it, I was so close. How many are there? There are no stars in the sky. You just wasted 3 of them. It's been 8 years since Bloom Park closed. Yeah, I guess we can fill that in for him. Who would we most like to motorboat? Probably our boss would be the most age appropriate. Maybe Hitomi, but I didn't really find her that attractive. She kind of reminds me of Aoi a little bit, like an older version of Aoi. She has that same kind of laid back attitude, the boss, and she's even wearing like a red kind of whatever it is, like semi-casual clothes. And she does seem like the athletic type, which is what Aoi was all about. What was that? Control room? It's the control room of the merry-go-round. This is where the ride is operated. I say that like I beat Danganronpa. I only fucking beat the first case. And then I lost to that stupid DDR thing, whatever it was supposed to be. With, whatever. What was his name again? Larry Butts guy? It's a metal pole. So some of the dumb shit that I lose to, usually it's some kind of alternative mechanic that isn't like what the game is based about, like climbing the fucking tightrope in LA Noire, doing the little chandelier. It's a horse from the merry-go-round, parasol here, a parasol. Of course, we can't move around now. That's the one thing they definitely should have done, is let you move around as Date as well as Aiba. Yeah, here's why time doesn't advance for us here, because we take that mechanic too literally. Date believes that to be the case, right? In the real world, if you just stand still, you can look around forever. Last night she was found in the column. Why was she in there? And the fact that she was in there means that she had to have heard the phone from in there, which means it could be nearby to this point. In fact, it could still be there. So do we have some way to detect objects like that? Like Aiba has some special feature. Oh, we can't go any further right, I guess. I thought we could do like a whole 360. That looks pretty creepy in the background. Just the red lights on the cityscape. It probably wants me to look at Aiba, or maybe we could relive that whole experience. It's in her memory too, the same way that they have it recorded. So maybe I could just go through that anytime I want. I guess there's nothing else to look at. A girl is sitting in the passenger seat. A girl. What do you mean? Isn't that Aiba?
Wait, are you a ghost?
Idiot. It's me.
Who you? Me?
It's me.
Maybe he doesn't recognize him outside of the dreams?
Said me.
But are you a ghost?
I'm not a ghost.
Then Aiba? But why?
I just thought I would protect myself. You seem lonely.
How are you doing this?
I am overlaying the image your left eye processes with augmented reality.
Of course, she's never done this before, even though you've had her for like 5+ years.
See me through your right eye, only your left.
I guess they could justify it by saying, well, I mean, you don't have your other eye because you're fucking... Oh no, maybe he didn't take it out for this scene. Whenever he's driving,
Just pop into my eyeball without permission?
she can pop out of it too.
You do realize I do that all the time, right?
How do you appear in Somnium? About your appearance, about the ringtone.
Come to think of it, you look kind of like you do when you're in Somnium.
Yeah, but you didn't recognize her there?
What's that about?
What do you mean?
Well, you don't usually look like that.
Yeah, you look like the little bear
You
thing.
have a Somnium form and another form.
Oh, this?
Yes, that. Why are you doing this now?
I was bored last night, so...
Yeah, they could justify like a new mechanic that Date isn't familiar with, even though they've worked together so long, by saying, oh, it's a new update by Pewter. He just did it yesterday, conveniently. Like 100 different things that he's gonna do within the span of the story of the game.
Huh?
Which might take place over the course of a week or something. Like in Miles Edgeworth, that's the hilarious thing about it. He'll solve like all these fucking cases in the span of a few days. He solves one in his office, then he goes on a plane, he solves one there, then he goes to a Blue Badger park, then he solves that one, then he goes to an embassy and fucking takes down an ambassador. Like it's literally
I like it.
3 days of real time.
Why would I like it?
Well, I did attempt to shape myself to your preference.
If you could do that, change it.
Yeah, make yourself look like my
Be
boss.
Reika from Tiefblau.
I will not.
Rick, have we had any reference to that character? Have we seen that? Oh, that's what it means when it says it here, though. Date, he likes Reika. I thought that was like a thing, like Reiki or something, like the name of a activity.
I won't.
I want to see what she looks like too. They're gonna tease you the whole playthrough by constantly mentioning Reika, but they're never gonna show you her. Gonna be like the Oslo August 31st with Iselin, where he's always lamenting his ex-girlfriend, but you never actually get to see her in the movie. It looks like Aiba is standing there.
I am connected to your brain via artificial nerve.
Great angle.
I am part of your working brain. Our minds are one. During the sync, when the data that constitutes your ego is transferred, some of my main programming is also transferred. That is why I appear in Somnium.
Iba running.
Do I even need to explain this sort of thing to you?
You really shouldn't.
I have experienced syncing many times with you. Although it is true that I have never appeared to you in this form.
Outside of the visions, you mean? Looks like Iba is standing there.
It was somewhere around here, right? Where I heard the phone ring.
Affirmative.
The source can't be far. The phone must be nearby.
Good deductive
I
reasoning.
do not know if it actually exists.
If there was a character point system in this, I'd be +1 though, because I just said that. It must be close to the center console.
Dreams consist of memories, but that does not mean that they perfectly mirror reality.
Yeah, for example, you see Iris dead there, which didn't happen yet.
In fact, it is more common that what occurs in dreams is distorted.
I bet that's going to be the next case. It's going to be Iris dying or her mother dying. That's what we saw in the first vision was Hitomi dead. But we didn't even meet
For
her
example,
yet.
The events witnessed in the last Somnium were absurd, exaggerated, or otherwise warped.
The event, so she's going to end up dead underneath the carousel? And she was like freezing cold and stuff too.
Clearly, they do not represent exactly what happened in reality.
And yet we're going to rely on this still rather than just doing good old school detective police work.
The ringtone as well.
Mizuki didn't necessarily hear it.
Right, like you always have to wonder with a case with stories like this, like how would they have solved the same case without all this fancy technology? Because they can hardly solve it even with that.
I understand that.
Like in Detroit or
It's
whatever.
our only lead.
Anything catch your eye? Good one.
As I mentioned earlier, I cannot say for certain if there was a phone here.
You can't just sense electromagnetic pulses or something?
However, if there is, it must be well hidden. CSI has already searched the area thoroughly.
Oh, of course they
They
have.
did not discover anything.
Well hidden, huh? Maybe a place you can't see with the naked eye.
Why couldn't it have just been taken? The killer or whatever could have just taken it with them. A place you can't see very well. Well, maybe the place off the screen that I can't go to here on the right. Something you can't see well, like some inside the center column, for example. We should try to figure it out. Like, this is what I always like to do, little dynamic puzzles. Figure out where it is before you just look for the prompt in green. Where would be somebody logically that you could put it? You could put it inside one of the horses, for example. You could put it inside like the roof or the center console. It's a metal pole. That's my best guess. It's inside the horse, it's inside the control room. It could be inside the trash. That's the rule number 1 of investigations. Always look inside of the trash, because a lazy killer will just throw the weapon in there with the blood still on it, as we learned in LA Noire. He's the owner of the restaurant or whatever. He kills somebody right outside. He takes the thing from the road, puts it on top of the trash with the blood still on it, and just leaves it there for like days. He doesn't wash it off. He doesn't hide it somewhere. He doesn't put it at the bottom of the trash. It's like the most inefficient fucking thing you could possibly do. And nobody finds it when they investigate the crime. They think it's like a car accident, so they don't even look in the trash for a conspicuous knife. Or maybe he puts it there later, but that's still very stupid. Again, with the blood still on it. Oh, here we go. It must be in the horse's head. It's a horse from the merry-go-round X-ray, but you can only do it when it prompts you to, like Luminol and the newer Ace Attorneys or whatever. It was fun when you could just do it anywhere as much as you wanted. At least I think you could. Good old Rise from the Ashes. Mysterious object. Wonder what it could be. Is in this horse.
Look at that.
It appears to be a smartphone.
I knew it was in the horse.
Don't lie. You doubted me.
I kind of call that.
So how do I get it out?
I cannot find any weaknesses or seams in the horse's body.
Just have forensics do it for you or something.
The horse's neck does not detach either.
There must be some hole or something.
I found one.
Where?
The mouth of the horse. I might be able to fit inside. One moment.
Oh, is your little bear form? Yeah, not as nice as you being able to fit through the metal bars when you were in the vision itself. That is actually kind of useful.
Yes. Good job, Iba.
One instance where fading to black was actually appropriate, even though it does that all the time. Like there was not appropriate. It abuses that. Smartphone clue list. We haven't had to really use the clues though actively, like I keep saying. That's the one disappointing element.
Who owned this phone? The number is...
Renju, maybe? It wouldn't be Oda because he used a payphone, so maybe he doesn't have a phone like his mother said. Like, what does he need a phone for? Maybe to sneak behind your back and call Iris or whatever, who she considers a witch. Or it could also be Shoko's, right? I'm gonna say Shoko's phone.
This is a rental phone.
A rental?
The owner is unknown. It is registered under a false identity.
But what is that false identity?
Come on.
You give us like a Roy Tagliaferro type of thing, like where it's an alias for their real name, where they still give you a hint.
Date, look at the device history.
It's gone. No outgoing call history.
What about the incoming history?
Only one call. 9:02 p.m. yesterday.
Mizuki and Ota discovered the corpse at approximately 9 p.m.
Or somebody called this
She must have
phone.
heard this phone.
That would connect to what we experienced in Somnium.
Right when it happened, pretty much. Or right when they discovered it, at least. Don't fall. Well done. Look suits you, by the way.
Do not worry about me. Finish your search and investigation. You should find some clues.
We already found it. I bet it's fine. I have to check that phone. It'd be nice if it actually gave us a visual phone mechanic, right? Worse investigation than GTA, where you can actually look on a phone and look at the internet. It would only make sense for them to do that, I guess, if this was a recurring thing that you keep finding phones. You should be able to use your own personal phone too, freely.
Thank you.
But I guess I guess you don't even have one. They did make a point to say that.
How disrespectful.
You know how to use this IBA advanced technology, but you don't know how to use
how
a
hard it was to make that form?
fucking phone.
No.
It's all right. Do not worry about me.
I'm not worried about you. I just don't want to get dirt in my eye socket.
Gonna put dirt in your eye, good old Peter Parker line.
Who is the caller?
Their name isn't displayed. The number isn't in their contacts. In fact, there are no contacts. No numbers at all.
So they rented a phone, but from where? You should be able to determine that at least. Phone had no email addresses or browsing history that could be a clue either. Right, like you could just buy a random fucking track phone, like from the dollar store. That's maybe what they mean by rental, right? Like a prepaid phone.
This number is also from a rental phone. No owner is registered.
What the fuck? They have a whole network of this underground communication of rental phones. You just have to look at this from a gameplay perspective, right? You just keep clicking the same thing over and over
What happened?
with no visual feedback or anything.
Battery died. The screen turned off.
Let's just go back home with it and figure it out. We did that whole Somnium just to find a phone that we could have found in the first place. Here, I have a solution for the next time to save us all the trouble. Just use your x-ray vision everywhere you go. Then you would have noticed that, right? You only use it contextually to look when you know there's something there. That's reactive investigation. You got to be proactive with that. Call the number I just gave you.
Iba, remember the number I just gave you?
Of course.
Call it.
It connected.
My name is Kaname Date. I'm with the Metropolitan Police Department.
Are you an idiot?
They hung up.
Oh, you think so? What kind of low IQ ignoramus calls a suspicious number and says they are from the police?
I couldn't help it. I wasn't ready. I just said the first thing that came into my head.
That was technically the ethical thing to do too. You don't want to lie either.
You told me to call.
Impersonating an officer versus pretending not to be an officer when you are one.
Didn't think it would work.
Disappointing. There is no other word for it.
You're telling me.
Can you call it again? Oh yeah, we'll do the old Kathy Rain thing where we call the military base and pretend to be an officer, like a police officer, and then he says, I can see your caller ID because we called from home. So then we go right to the police station, distract the guy, and use that phone, and they don't recognize our voice or that we just pretended to be an officer, asking about the same exact case. Like that guy had short-term memory loss, the guy who worked at McConnell Air Force Base. We're gonna do the same thing here. That'll be our term, like the Dane Gustavia special, where you try to freeze a body. Or what other terms like that do I use? Like the light Yagami. What did I use that for though, specifically? Of all the brilliant things he does, we associate him with one thing in particular. I can't remember what I used it as. He did a light Yagami. I've used that before. Ah, fuck, I can't remember. He does so many brilliant tactics, it's hard to pin one down. But that'll be the Kathy Rain as a new term. Like anytime somebody does like a double juke on the same person, right? Like it's especially involving a phone, this kind of fits perfectly.
Iba, can you call it again? I'll be ready this time, I swear.
And he won't notice your
Are you
voice?
sure?
Yeah, trust me.
Or he won't realize that you just called? Do like a fake voice?
The number you have dialed is no longer in service.
Damn, call denied.
Call deny?
Yeah, call denied.
Oh, the thing Reika from the Cabaret Club did to your number.
Good one.
Damn, you remember that?
He's obsessed with this Reika chick. Maybe that's why he doesn't perv on his boss too much like I'm doing. They're gonna make you want to see her now. And Ivan knows what she looks like too. Why was the phone in the horse? Who was the person you called? Call Reika. Fuck.
What? Why?
I want to hear her voice.
She put you on call deny.
Can't you try from another line?
I can, but I won't. Use a payphone if you want to call her.
I don't have my own phone. Yeah, we know that. As long as I'm within range of Iva, within range, I can use Iva to make any call I want, whether it's a traditional line or I can have Iva help me. Unless you want to call Raika. Even when she's outside my eye socket, I can talk normally. That was really a necessary scene. Just because he's perving on some chick that we haven't even
Probably
met.
someone involved in the incident. They hung up as soon as they heard you mention the police.
Maybe they would have just hung up anyway, to be
They
fair.
refused further incoming calls. That behavior is at the very least suspicious. Near 3rd Street, Shinjuku.
That's a wide range. Can you tell if they called from a smartphone?
They did. I can tell from the number.
Does it have GPS?
The phone is likely capable of that function, but it has been disabled. The power also appears to be off. I cannot connect from any line, because you blew it.
Deserved. Totally deserved. They're like an assistant that'll hold you accountable and chide you like that at least. Don't go easy on me, that was a bit of a clown move.
There would be no point to that now. The recipient is alerted to our presence and likely on the move.
Right.
We could have even chatted it up with him if it was Renju like I suspected, like maybe. But why would you leave the phone here anyway? I guess it's a rental phone so you can, or did we check it for fingerprints and stuff yet? I don't know if Iba can even do stuff like that. You'd think she should be able to. Basically, she's just a plot device. She can do whatever, she can and can't do whatever is needed from the game at that time. So sometimes she'll do something super impressive like, oh, how the hell did you figure that out? But then other times they'll say, oh, she can't just hack a simple phone. Like she hacked into somebody's thing, so why couldn't she just hack into this if she has the number?
But it does appear to be deliberate. Did the culprit do this? Or did someone else? And for what specific purpose?
Maybe to frame the culprit or to make sure they can't get away with it? But yeah, who could have done it?
Iba, let's get going.
Maybe it was Shoko's secret phone that she was having an affair with somebody that she didn't want people to know
There's
about.
nothing more here.
So she hid it in the horse.
Where are we going? Iris's house?
Yeah, I'm curious.
Check on her
About
late
what,
at night.
prophecy? Absurd. It was nothing.
How much you want to bet she's actually going to be dead when we get
Let's hope
there?
so.
Or Hitomi? Which of the two are you worried about now? You've seen them both dead in different visions. We saw Hitomi dead in the first vision. I'm pretty sure that was her in her house. And then we saw Iris dead in this one, although I don't know where she really is. Dead and buried in the snow somewhere, maybe. I don't like how scripted this movement mechanic is, though. For now, at least. Sagan residence. I guess that spoils the suspense. We know she's dead. They should have shown her from not dead.
Daddy!
Where's your mother? Oh, she's gonna be dead, but she's not gonna know about it yet. She's always too happy, so you can never suspect that something bad has happened. A wooden shelf, even when she's trying to blackmail us with that stupid thing. I don't know if she said if she deleted it or not. A speaker.
Iris, Do you like bigger speakers or smaller speakers?
Bigger, I guess.
Could you say I like them big?
Why?
Please?
I like them big?
Again, please?
I like them big, Date.
Thank you.
You are a despicable man. You know that?
Why don't you record that for us too? Is that really something that would turn a guy on? Especially if, like, what if you don't have it big in the first place? He's just fantasizing about her talking about somebody else then. She doesn't realize that that's what he's doing either, because she even made the joke, like, in the car, I'm bored, like she's gonna suck me off while I'm driving or something. A comforter. A comforting sofa? It's a sofa. I don't get what this thing is that he does. He's got like some kind of brain damage from losing his memory too. You can see the trees and sky outside. Or he's like dyslexic or something, but that's not even... He has like some kind of difficulty pronouncing basic words for things. It's for lighting. Yeah, no shit, dude. The ceiling fan is spinning. Whoever made this game hates flavor text, so much so that they want to troll the player. Not that they won't give it to you, but they'll give it to you in such a mundane, matter-of-fact way, as if to mock you for even wanting it in the first place. There's nothing on the table. I can see that. A winter iris. In the language of flowers, it means good news and hope. The telephone in the corner. The mother's gonna be dead in the next room, like we saw in the first vision. This is a drawing on the wall. Did Iris draw this as a child? And was that you in there? Because you seem to remember her birthday. But you couldn't have been her father, at least. You could be her sibling, maybe? 12 years older?
Hey, Iva. What kind of furniture always catches a cold?
An absurd question. Inanimate objects cannot be afflicted by viruses or bacteria.
You could at least let me tell my joke.
Yeah, it's probably better than yours. But the fucking giraffe in the fridge, I guess that was more of a riddle. Like, just put the giraffe inside, open the door and put it in. And then the second one is take it out and put the other thing in. It's a shoebox.
Date, what are you doing?
Oh, this guy is really fucked up.
Just needed a quick whiff.
Okay.
She doesn't seem weirded out by it. It smells nice. Is that Iris's or is that her mother's? But he didn't seem really attracted to the mother, to be fair. There's a calendar and a strange object on the shelf. I like how overt he's being with that. So this game is clearly not... It doesn't actually fit in the Phoenix Wright category, like where you have Maya or some young girl hanging out with you, because they never sexualize it in any way, right? They stay away from that. This, they overtly do it. So this is meant more for the more jaded, cynical adult audience of similar kind of games. A bookshelf. There are no books on it, but it's definitely a bookshelf. Sort of like a non-alcoholic wine. Bookshelf near the wall. They even beat it like a dead horse by letting you read the same flavor of text over and over, but it's slightly different, like the same object. The lights are on. I can't believe anybody who would actually do this with this game. Like, the flavor text is so redundant and unnecessary. There are a lot of dishes. I cannot believe what they did with that aspect of it, at least. Just don't give me any flavor text then if you're gonna do that. Fuck. Oh, is this the same one?
All of the animals in the jungle gathered for a meeting.
No, it's actually different.
However, one animal could not participate. Which animal was it? The answer is the elephant.
But he has the best memory. Why?
Because you put him in the refrigerator earlier. Remember?
Okay, that was actually good. Sometimes you just tell a joke over and over and it finally becomes funny. Or refrigerator. I wasn't expecting it. I was thinking she was going in a different direction. So every joke related to the refrigerator is connected. That's the only way it works. The kitchen counter. See, I remembered it too. A dining table. Where's your mom? Oh, well, how are you? Yeah, she's stabbed up in the other room. We already know. That's got to be what happens here. They wouldn't make us come all the way here for nothing. We could just ignore her and go straight to the next room.
The iris is safe. Are you done here?
I know.
You sniffed her shoes and you fucking asked her to roleplay with you a little bit. Impatiently, she looks perfectly patient and happy.
Date, you came, but aren't you a little early?
See, he could find some innuendo in that one too.
Huh?
You said you would play Shovel Forge with me tomorrow.
No, I didn't. I did promise to go on a date with you.
Tomorrow? It's not even midnight yet. I kept my promise by staying home, so you need to keep your promise, Date. I'm hop, hop, hoppy happy. Hop, hop, hop. Rabbit goes hop. Why do you ask?
Oh, well, you see...
Because I saw your dead body in a dream.
Yeah, say
Are
that.
you seriously going to tell her that?
You hush.
While I was messing with the head of a 12-year-old girl, who I'm also a roommate with, as he calls it.
By the way, where's your mom?
She left earlier. She got a Nile message from someone.
And she's gonna be
She
killed.
looked kind of panicky, too.
Where did she go?
Pattern of behavior. Everybody uses the stupid Nile thing,
Don't know.
which Iba can hack into everything but that, seemingly.
She didn't tell me.
Oh, shit.
Oh, did you want something to drink?
But you know, the only thing that's comforting about that is that when we saw her dead in the vision, she was dead in her own house. She wasn't dead somewhere else.
No, sorry. I should be going.
Assuming that's absolute.
What? Leaving already?
Yeah, I have some work to do.
Well, will you at least watch my stream at 1?
Stream?
Don't you remember?
But she streams at 1 at night?
I'm an internet idol.
And you're gonna stream online?
Yeah.
At 1 in the morning?
Yeah.
You're a young woman. You shouldn't stay up so late.
Oh, jeez, you sound like an old man.
Because he is an old man.
It's fine. Today isn't for work, it's just a personal stream.
That's not the issue.
And tomorrow is Sunday.
The day isn't the issue either.
Yeah, you can stay up late because it's the weekend.
Please watch, okay? I'll ask you about it on tomorrow's date.
Fine.
Just watch the VOD afterwards.
Date, I have been thinking.
He seems all pervy towards her, but then he acts all, see, he's playing hard to get. He's clearly attracted to her because she's even whatever the age difference, because he's asking her to do all the innuendo like with the speakers, but then on the flip side he's acting all hard to get. He of course would want to perv on her stream. I guess he just doesn't want to admit to it.
I am glad that nothing bad happened.
The mother's missing.
Yeah, you're right.
You don't connect the Nile message to the...
Sometime real soon, I'm going to die.
I actually kind of bought that for a second. Oh, she even had a premonition herself. But she was just saying it jokingly. Finally, that was a long fucking day, dude. That was like 3 episodes. Well, I guess the first one was more so looking at the... Like, what did I even do the first time? All I did was look at the crime scene at the carousel and then talk to the boss in the office. I think that was basically it. We were in the office for a long ass time. So that'd be a good place to start, I guess. That was fine. So now at least we're on the next day. But they were so desperate for information that they're willing to use the sync thing already. They're kind of abusing it. And Mizuki still won't talk to us. I want her reason for not talking to us now to be, you're a dick for putting me through the sync thing. Just like that, without even asking me. Without letting me get better on my own. Not that she's still traumatized about the mother's death. She's pissed just that you put her through that with no prompting. That would be a good way to tell it. Let's read a little bit of flavor text, all the new stuff we got. It's a good thing to do to either start an investigation or to end it, right? You don't really want to read it in the middle. Futa Amanoma, male, 36, February 1st birthday. Profession engineer at Abyss, the special investigation team of the Metropolitan Police Department. Likes multiples of 16. Is that an age joke? Chairs, Toko, Roten, and Amore. Some of these might just be people that we haven't met yet, like how Raika, or whatever, I forget now what her name was. Bugs, cats, conservatives, and cyclopses. Dislikes. Working with machines, collecting doujins, and magical girls. Building models and imitating vuvuzelas. I don't know what the fuck that is. Pewter is Abyss's engineer and a brilliant scientist. Currently, he is responsible for maintaining the sync machine and repairing sinks. He also invented Aiba and set her personality to his liking. So is Aiba like a archetype, like a prototype, not just like we're the only one who has it? He's made like multiple for other detectives too. I guess he must have, because there's like 6 other people, or 5 other people who also do the same thing as us. who we haven't heard about really. Mayumi was Oda's mother. So Oda was like just one of those one-off characters, I think. Comic relief witness, kind of. Hitomi is dead. You can just book it right now. I guarantee it. That fucking Renju is on a rampage for some reason, always using Nile to bait in his suspects, or his victims. The agent that performs the sync, how about that? Fuck you. It really is trolling you with the flavor text. Somnium. Dream in Latin, the plural is somnia, and attaching the prefix in means non or without, meaning insomnia. Okay, that's at least informative. So it means dream, plural is somnia, so without sleep. But that doesn't, without dream, I don't get it. Oh wait, what was the other one? Time insomnium. Computer added a new feature to the sync. Iris said that she doesn't get many gigs. She is more popular in the underground scene. In this context, incoming hall history. Some of this is just so basic. Like you need a whole page for that shit. Computer added a new feature to the sync machine that allows you to slow down time, but it only works when Aiba is standing still. Why? Simply put, I did have used one restart, but they technically say that 3 are allowed, right? It didn't say that I failed. Although afterwards they kind of made me worried, like, we failed to, the boss was saying, oh, you failed to help Mizuki, but that's not me as a player, that's just the character in the story, right? That has nothing to do with my performance, because I did do the 3 locks. Simply put, it was a limitation of the technology when Aiba is standing still. She and Date are exchanging information at extremely fast speeds, which creates a sensation of time slowing down. But when Aiba is moving, it is not possible for her to exchange information as quickly because she has to use the resources to move and interact with the environment. Imagine a giant boulder on top of a hill. If you hold it with both arms and it will stay put, but if you only use one of your arms, it will start to roll. Exchanging information at fast speeds, which creates a sensation of slowing down. Okay, I get it. Time limit. I don't think I actually read these all the way, though. I think I read this one before. Insomnia, use Aiba to investigate the subject's dream world. Goal is to discover memories or information they could be hiding. By unlocking mental locks, you can travel deeper into the subconscious. If you unlock them all, you may discover crucial information. There is a mental lock guide at the top left of the screen. Not right now, there isn't. Or when you're in the thing, I guess. Choices. When investigating an object, you are able to give Aiba orders from the given choices, which are often pretty stupid and arbitrary and don't have anything to do with the investigation. Like interacting with a panda's head or something, or making the parasol spin faster. I'm not a big fan of the way that works. While in Somnium, you can inspect it's like a McPixel thing. Like kick the guy in the crotch to solve the puzzle. Like just do random shit. While in Somnium, you can inspect objects that have floating nameplates. The number of investigatable objects increases or decreases depending on the progress into Somnium. Open a map of the current Somnium with the map button. That's the only time when you can use the map freely, seemingly. On the map, you can check all these good mechanics that the dream world has that the real world should have. I should always be able to look at the map and travel back and forth to places like you can do in other games like this. You should also be able to walk around like Aiba does in the dream. And pandas now. We need a panda chess piece for another variant. Let's see. On the map, you can check your current location and objects you can inspect. If you are lost, open the map and find an object that looks interesting or important to inspect. Tips 2. You can check your progress from the progress bar on the left side of the screen. When you reach the bottom, you've cleared it. When you release a mental lock, the progress moves. The number of mental locks and how to release them depend on the subject. Retry will allow you to return to a save point just after unlocking a mental lock, which you only have 3, so that'll be the permadeath condition that you can only get hit, you can only fail 3 times. So I guess I used one of them, or did I use 2 of them? I can't remember. I think I might have used 2. Going back to lock 1, 1 lock costs 1, going back 2 costs 2, going back 3 costs 3. Why would you even have to go back further? I guess if you use too much time up to the most recent one. You regain your 3 retimes by selecting restart, which we're not allowed to do because that's tantamount to failing. And then time limit and timies. Insomnia, you have a time limit of 6 minutes. Time goes down by moving and by ordering Iva to perform an action. Mind the time and unlock all mental locks within 360 seconds. Timies is an item that affects the flow of time. You can obtain them after certain choices you make. Timies can it's a good way to offset doing like a silly option that doesn't help you. It might compensate by giving you a little bit of time back this way, or preventing you from having to use it this way. Timies can potentially lower the time it takes to perform an action. You are only able to hold 3, so you may as well just keep using them. Picking up 1 when you already have 3 will replace it. They disappear after use, but try to use them actively, which I didn't do at the beginning at all. So I could have easily done it without using a retry if I had done that. Going past 360 seconds, you can technically exceed the time limit if you are making the final correct choice. Oh yeah, I was wondering about this, if I could have still failed at the end, because I only had like 10 seconds left, so I kind of didn't account for how much time that last thing was going to take. Even if time is winding down, if you make a wise choice, you may still be able to clear it. So that could be a clutch moment to save you from dying, like where you objectively don't have enough time to proceed and you're on the final choice, and if you choose wrong, you just lose. But if you choose right, it gives you like a benefit of the doubt, which doesn't really even make sense RP wise, because they said if you run out of time, you get stuck there. So it doesn't matter, even if you solve the case, you'll still die or whatever. Tips menu, I think I already saw this. Flowchart, blah, blah, blah. Go ahead and go to the last one here. And then we're gonna get to fucking Diamond today with that same ass deck. Gonna kind of jinx how good that deck is gonna be, but if I have to make another one, I guess I probably should. But it's amazing that I just took one from the base recipes and gotten this far with it in a matter of a few days, in like 3 days. Mizuki A. So it shows stuff that doesn't actually happen. She never did that, just like she never drank wine, or she never did it in this pose at least. She drank wine, but she was standing up. This is just all concept art, I guess. She never stuffed the little bear thing in a wine glass, and it looks kind of too big to even do that, but it seems like she can adjust her size at will. And then this we stuck in the door. We didn't actually even shoot it. This is her just riding a horse, looking like she's having no fun at all. And then this is Mizuki with a wrench, with a pipe. She looks kind of weird in the middle ones, her expression. Very disinterested, and then the last one, she looks very sad. I guess that's all we get. Mizuki A, day 2. So we finally got past this very long Saturday at least. And then we can talk to our boss a bit. If she's ever going to tell us that copycat thing, I wonder. Let's just overwrite this.